G'day guys, Smith City here for Smith City Product Reviews. Well, I'm back with the Grifter Brewing Company, the Oatmeal. It is their Oatmeal Stout coming in at 5.5% ABV in a 375ml can. I absolutely love this black and gold can. Kind of reminds me a little bit like a toy car I used to have growing up. It was a black Pontiac, obviously with the bird on the bonnet, and it was black with that gold on there. So a little bit of useless information there, but we'll get it into a glass and we'll see what we have. It's 1.6 standard drinks from Marrickville, New South Wales. It's been raining all day. A little bit of spray on the opening there. It's been raining most of the day today. Perfect sort of stout weather. Haven't had a stout in a while on this channel, I don't feel, or a darker beer. Obviously I did review the brown ale, but you know, obviously I haven't reviewed a stout or a porter in a while. So there it is, guys. It's completely jet black, obviously with the reflection of everything else beaming off it. It's looking a little bit lighter. The red from my tripod and that sort of stuff is giving it a red hue on the bottom, but that's just because of that. So it's pretty much jet black in the glass. I'll see if I can get that to zoom in. Probably not with the crappy camera. That's okay. So it's basically got a one finger, sort of like a dark off-white colour head there. Get into having a sniff for you guys. Oh wow, raisins. Like dark chocolate, caramel, coffee. But yeah, like you really get sort of that dark raisin smell coming through. Kind of reminds me a little bit of that Hope Black Rhino I tried that was obviously 18%. There's a little bit of that same aroma going on in the aroma. So if it's anything like the smell, I'm absolutely going to love this. Let's get into my pelican-like mouth. Bring this down a little bit. Ooh, that's well balanced. That is, ooh. That is good. I'm just trying to work out what's more prominent, like the coffee or the dark chocolate. On the front palate, you get this like burst of, I wouldn't say like sweetness, but it's like a burst of, okay, a burst of sweetness, but it's not like sugary sweetness, if that makes sense. But it's very well balanced. But what's interesting, or what I'm really loving about this beer, straight from the first sip, is on the back palate, it's really smoky. Like it's really, really smoky. Like almost like some woody notes and stuff that you'd get from like smoking a cigar. On the back end, that is a ripper. That is an absolute banger. Now I was trying to remember if I actually had a beer from these guys, and I have, but I haven't reviewed it. It was their Pilsner. It was in a gold can, I do believe. Oatmeal Stout. Yeah, that is really nice on the back end, even it just lingering there on the palate. There's that sort of even when I'm just opening it up my mouth and on my tongue with the aftertaste, I'm getting sort of that smoky, woody type element to it. That's ripper. And to do that with 5.5, to get sort of those depths of flavors without pushing that ABV up anything too crazy, keeping the drinkability of this really good. Like, I'd be happy to just consume this like a few of these on a night. So, which is very rare for such a flavorful stout, for it to still be restraint enough on the ABV for it to actually be almost sessionable. Good job, guys. Really good job. It obviously says oatmeal. It obviously got no head a little bit. You're not going to be able to pick it up too much from like an angle perspective, but it is a little bit, it does have a little bit more of a mouthfeel compared to like a thin mouthfeel. So it's not like thick by any means, but it does have a little bit of body to it. Oh, this is fantastic, guys. The Omen Oatmeal Stout. A rich, smooth, dark ale with layers of coffee, chocolate, roasted malt complexity. The Grifter Brewing Company, 1391, or Unit 1391, Enmore Road, Marrickville, New South Wales, 2204. Made in Australia, certified independent logo. Love the can. Obviously, this came in my beer cartel pack, and I wanted to do one. I wanted to do a darker beer, and I pulled this one out of like just looking down on the box, and I liked the black and the gold, which made me pick it out, because I don't always remember what I pull out on unboxings. So so that's what drew me, the can, to review this. And then obviously when I pulled it out and saw it was a stout, and obviously it's been raining the last 2 days. It was muggy yesterday at work, and it stopped raining from the night before. But this is perfect stout weather. And like I said, drinkability is a cracker. Like, it's a 10 out of 10 for the drinkability aspect alone, being such a balanced, complex, interesting beer, to then still have drinkability, where you can possibly drink multiple and actually get away with it and enjoy it, is fantastic. So you've brewed an absolute cracker of a beer, the Grifter. I'm gonna give it a 10. I have to. The difference between, say, this and the Rhino is obviously the ABV, one being 5.5 and the other one being 18%. And the 18%, obviously a lot of these flavors that are in here were like supercharged, and you had that alcohol burn going on, and it was obviously a harder beer to drink as quickly as this. But this is almost on par with it in terms of how tasty it is. But you don't have to wait. You don't have to waste 2 hours doing it. I'm not saying you'd waste the 2 hours drinking the other one, but this is a far more quicker, enjoyable experience than the 18% one. Which I think for anyone beginning to like craft beer, if they chose that one over this one, I think you'd actually like this one better. This is really good. I'm so impressed. Like, so much so that I actually don't want to hit record, because it is that fantastic of a beer. I'm gonna have to get more of these. If you like my review, guys, the Grifter Brewing Company, you want to send me a 6-pack, I won't say no. I will not say no. That's for sure. These are a ripper, and this is a very, very enjoyable beer. Let's just say it was 10 degrees. This would be amazing, like rugged up, trackies, jumper, beanie, that sort of stuff, near a fire or a heater if you know you're not outside in the elements. Or on the flip side, even if it was a hot day, but you felt like you wanted the flavors of a stout, this would also be one to have in hotter times as well. I like that smokiness on the back end. Like, that's what makes this beer. That's definitely what makes this beer. That smokiness on the back end. Whoops! I nearly just upended my glass then. For people that haven't seen that Rhino by Hope, go check it out. It has been my, like, on reflection, it has been my favourite beer I've reviewed on this channel, and it is my favourite beer that I've drunk on this channel. It's tough. It's tough. I had a beer, IPA, which is my favourite style of beer, and I didn't review it. By Royal Farm, I think they're called. Royal Farm, and I've got a Royal Farm beer in my beer cartel pack, but it was their IPA, and I didn't review that, but I had that, and that was probably my favorite IPA. So I'd love to review that for you guys at some stage, get my hands on a can and review it, because it is my favorite IPA. It's very hard to judge saying, like, the Hope Stout is my favorite beer I've reviewed, but saying, is it my favorite beer of all time? It's very hard, because a stout isn't necessarily my favorite category of beer, whereas an IPA is. But that Royal Farm beer and the Hope, obviously two completely different styles of beer, so it's very hard to categorize and say, yeah, that one is definitely my favorite beer of all time. So I'll keep pondering that thought. I sort of went off on a bit of a Smith City tangent, like I always do, that sort of looks like it's going to go somewhere and then it just doesn't. But this beer certainly does go somewhere, that's for sure. Almost in the Smith City Hall of Fame. Finish that on a review, you know it's special. That's it from me, guys. Catch ya.